My husband and I recently went on our first Holland America cruise, and as much as I researched before my cruise, so I thought I had a good idea of what to expect, some things really surprised me. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you are considering going on a Holland America cruise, whether it's your very first cruise or you've tried other cruise lines before, I think that you're going to appreciate this video. There were some perceptions that I had about Holland America. Some were really what I thought, and others, well, they were very unexpected, really some things that absolutely surprised me. So what I'm going to do in this video is share really some of the highlights of our cruise, some of the things that we liked, some of the things that we maybe didn't like that much, and really give you a very honest review. Now, I'm also going to share with you who I think Holland America is for, and I'm going to let you know if we will be sailing Holland America again. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. So to start off, here's a little bit of background into our cruise. Now, we were sailing on Holland America's Nieuw Statendam, which is one of the Pinnacle class cruise ships. Now, we were on a 7-day Caribbean cruise. So it was definitely just sort of a fun, relaxing cruise. But we were so impressed from the time that we boarded our cruise until disembarkation, which is always unfortunate. But we were really just so impressed with the beauty of the cruise ship, the cleanliness of the cruise ship, the public areas, the pool, the world stage, the restaurants. This ship is absolutely gorgeous. Now, don't worry. Of course, I am going to be sharing with you what I thought of the entertainment, what we thought of the food, what we thought about the other passengers, and more. And something to mention is Holland America did host us on this cruise, but of course, all of the opinions that I'm sharing with you are my own. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that there were some things that surprised me or that were unexpected, at least for me. So let's start off with those things. The first thing was the age of the other passengers. Now, a lot of people ask about this. What is the age of the other passengers? Is Holland America just for old people? And this has obviously been said a lot. And maybe the fact that I am getting older, I am 51 now, my husband is 57, we really felt very right at home on Holland America. And I do think perhaps, at least on this cruise, that the age skewed a little bit younger. We definitely had a lot of people on the cruise ship that were, let's say, about 5 years younger than me, so around 45-ish, to about maybe 10 years or so older than me. That seemed to be about the mid-range of people. And of course, there were some people that were older than this, and there were some people that were much younger than this. So if this is something that maybe is very important to you, to be around a lot of people that are maybe about 30 years old or so, I would say that you wouldn't have this on a Holland America cruise. But definitely, if you want to be with other like-minded passengers that are in the range of maybe between 40 and maybe 65, this definitely seemed to be the range on this ship. And we really did find that people were happy, that people were talkative, that people were young at heart. I will tell you a little bit more about that and the entertainment later on in this video, but we definitely found a lot of like-minded cruisers. And to my surprise, there were actually quite a few children on this cruise. Now, of course, we were on a Caribbean cruise and we were in the month of November, which is why it did surprise me, but we definitely saw some young children, some teens, and even some young adults on this cruise. But I have to say, everybody was very well behaved. Now, something else that really surprised me, and truthfully I didn't hear very much about for Holland America, is the use of the app and how much a part of the cruise experience with Holland America the app is. And in part, it is because they are trying to reduce the usage of paper. So some of the things that you'll notice is when you do have the app is you're actually going to get your shore excursion tickets. If you've booked your shore excursions with Holland America, they will be visible on your app. Just a little tip, screenshot that shore excursion ticket, because when you get off the ship and you maybe have to meet your shore excursion, you're going to have to show them that, and there will be a QR code. So you'll want to have that. If you've screenshotted, it'll be a photo. That is going to be perfect. Now, I'm sure that you can cruise without the app, and perhaps instead they will print out your shore excursions, but we really did find that the app was helpful. Now, they had a really helpful feature, which was the chat feature. They even had a little notification really really easy to connect with other cruisers. We even really loved on the app that we could order pizza on the app that was just like a casual meal that we had for lunch. The pizza was absolutely delicious, by the way, on the new Statendam. So I highly recommend that you do explore the app and see all the things that you can do. Now, when it came to the cabins were really, really nice. I expected the cabins to be nice, but something that I didn't realize is that the balcony area is going to be like a little bit deeper than on recent cruise ships that we've been on, to the point that you actually have your chair and you have a little ottoman. It was so nice to have that extra space on the veranda. And by the way, even if you are looking into an interior cabin, I did take a look at an interior cabin, and while the size was, I guess, small or cozy, if you will, it really looked very comfortable, and I don't think I would have a problem even cruising in it. Now, I have a few more interesting and positive things to say, and then I do have some things that were maybe a little bit less to our liking, but that's normal. We always have some things that we're going to like more, some things that we're going to like less, but hopefully this will give you a little bit of an idea of if this is for you. The food. The food was really amazing, to the point that it reminded me of cruising in the past. It was really that good. Now, in terms of the main dining room, we ate there 4 nights out of 7, and it was really very, very good. We also ate in the specialty restaurants 3 nights. That was excellent. I might consider creating a video just about the food. So let me know, please, if you'd like to have more information about the food. I love cruise food. The pizza was great. The casual food was great. The room service was great. Again, let me know if you'd like more info about the food, but very, very good. Now, there's actually one food item that I absolutely have to share with you. It's sort of like a best kept secret, but it is related to this point. I'll share it with you in just a minute. You will thank me later. So something else that surprised me, and I guess I just didn't realize it, is, well, Holland America's heritage and the Dutch heritage, that it really is very much part of cruising with Holland America. So to the point that you have a lot of different elements, really an ode to Holland America, their history. They are celebrating their 150th anniversary this year. As well, you have certain elements on the cruise ship. So one of those things is the cafe is actually the Dutch cafe. Oh my goodness, is it ever wonderful there? So not only the coffee, but all of the different snacks, all of the different foods that you can eat. They really are like Dutch names. I'm not even going to try to pronounce them, but definitely you'll want to try out the different items in the Dutch cafe. And the item that you absolutely have to try, I can't pronounce the name, but it basically is this super large chocolate cream puff. It is the absolute best cream puff that I've ever had. If you find smaller ones on the cruise ship, they do not taste the same. This one in particular, it's definitely shareable. It is the most decadent thing, the most decadent chocolate. It is really so good. Now, please let me know if you've been on Holland America before. Have you ever eaten this? Please let me know down in the comments below. Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about the entertainment on the cruise. So what did we think about the entertainment on the cruise? I know a lot of people do wonder about what is the nightlife like on Holland America. Now, there were definitely some things that we absolutely loved, and there were some other things that we maybe missed a little bit that we have seen on other cruises. So starting off with what we absolutely loved, the music walk was a fabulous area of the cruise ship. Basically, it was on deck 2, if I'm not mistaken, of the cruise ship, and you had a series of different musical venues where there were different bands and musical acts playing every single night. Now, one of our favorite was the Rolling Stone Rock Room. Even if I didn't dance to this, it was just so fun to watch everybody having a good time. There were definitely people of all ages that were there at the Rolling Stone Rock Room. Now, they also have Billboard on board, which is sort of like dueling pianos meets a piano bar. A lot of fun. They have the BB King Blues Club. They had an amazing band that was playing there. Just incredible talent, a lot of fun. And they even had, by the way, an orange party. And this orange party has to do with an ode to Holland America's heritage. As well, people do dress up in orange just a little bit, and they sell some items that are orange as well if you want. But just a little tip, if you are going on a Holland America cruise, consider bringing some orange items. They did have like a little bit of a dance-off contest, and you could actually win some prizes. It was really such a fun night. Now, when it came to other entertainment, this is where things were a little bit different. Rather than having these big, massive production shows or even big shows with acrobatics and things like that, they did have really great interactive dance shows. And these dance shows were held at the world stage. And basically, what was happening was you had the dancers and they were interacting with the screens around them, with the stage. It was really amazing production shows nonetheless, although very different. And we also saw a comedian who appeared twice, and he was very funny. Now, in terms of the other shows or things to do, there were some different like enrichment style shows. So if this is something that is interesting for you, I think that you would enjoy it. We did miss a little bit of some of those higher energy audience participation games like Love and Marriage. That was something that was not on this cruise ship. Now, when it comes to the activities and the entertainment that happened during the day, this was more subdued than we were used to on other cruises. I think it was probably about what we expected. There really weren't any, or at least many activities next to the pool. One of them that did happen, we caught it a couple of times, was there was some line dancing at sort of the main center pool that was happening, definitely in the very, very back, but some people were participating in this and it actually looked kind of popular. The other thing was sort of a beanbag toss, which, if I'm being honest, this was sort of in the back pool area. It ended up being very loud and it would have been something that I think would have been better off at the sports court. Now, there were definitely some enrichment style activities that were happening on the interior of the cruise ship. And I think if we were doing a cruise that was maybe Canada, New England, or Alaska, or even somewhere in Europe, basically less of a Caribbean hot weather cruise with 4 ports, I would have gone to some of these, but this was really for us like a relaxing cruise that on the sea days, we pretty much just hung out next to the pool. We met a lot of people to chat with and we had a great time. Now, one area on the cruise ship that looked pretty happening every time that I went in, but just to be honest, I didn't spend a lot of time there on this particular cruise, was Crow's Nest. So whether you want to go and you want to catch the sunrise in Crow's Nest and have a nice early morning coffee, or if you want to get a drink with friends later on, if you want to explore shore excursions, if you want to do a puzzle, read a book, this is really a nice area to do so. And it is something to know about because it's in the very forward of the cruise ship and you can only get there by those forward elevators. Now, I do have a couple of things that I think are maybe a little bit negative, or maybe a couple of things that could be improved upon. But before I get into that, I just have to say the service was excellent on this cruise ship. So in particular, I would say the customer service, they were just excellent. Not only were they really great with me, but I watched them with other people. And this, I really just thought it stood out because this is really, I think, a hard job on a cruise ship. And I've sometimes seen where sometimes there are some difficulties with passengers and customer service, but these people were very impressive. The Dutch Cafe, the service was amazing. Our cabin attendants, we had 2 cabin attendants. I think this is standard on Holland America. They were just absolutely incredible. Our waiters, the maitre d', who just was always so friendly and even went out of his way to accommodate us when we did sit with friends one night. The cooks and servers in the Lido buffet and the bartenders, excellent job. Okay, so now for a couple of negative points, because of course everything is not perfect. So I feel like I say this on a lot of cruises, but the Wi-Fi, even though we had the premium Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi, like on other cruises, really was very difficult. Now, I don't think that everybody has the same situation because I'm trying to upload videos, I'm doing some different things on social media, and the Wi-Fi was definitely a challenge on this ship. Now, something else, and I think this is really a small thing, but it actually does contribute, I think, to the atmosphere on the cruise. So this is the music by the pool, or the lack of it. So when it came to the music by the pool, and I had heard this before going on the cruise, I heard there's no music by the pool on Holland America, and I didn't find this to be true. There was music, but it was inconsistent. So sometimes there was music, sometimes there wasn't, and a lot of us really agreed as we were sitting by the pool that some amount of music, and the volume was fine, it doesn't need to be loud, but just some amount of music that kind of creates a little bit of vibe or atmosphere is something nice, especially that the demographic, I think that people now, and this was a music ship, it really would have been nice to have more music as atmosphere around the pool deck areas. Now, something else that was a little bit of a negative and something that did surprise me were some of the things that were upcharges when it came to the food. Now, I have to say there was a lot included and it was really of very good quality, but there were a few items that did have an additional charge in the main dining room. And what did surprise me, I guess, was that there was in Pinnacle Grill, we were told we were the first cruise to have this, but there was an extra charge if you ordered an additional appetizer. And just to mention, there were soups and appetizers all in the same part of the menu. So when we did ask if we could order an appetizer and a soup, for instance, we were told we had an additional charge of $7. Now, we did pay it, and that's absolutely fine, but it was something that did surprise me. I do kind of feel like when you spend money at a specialty restaurant, that when it comes to the appetizers, as long as you're not excessive, it seems to me that that should be included. So that was a little bit of a negative for me. The variety or lack of variety of some of the cruise ship activities. Now, this was something that when we talked with some of the other guests that were on board, this was something that some people mentioned. There were some activities that hadn't, I guess, yet returned. There wasn't like the culinary activity that had been on Holland America before. Some people said that they had missed that. Other people said that they just wished that there were a few more shows, maybe even something a little bit later on in the evening. And this could have been because of the demographic of the cruise or because we were on a Caribbean cruise. So I'm not exactly sure. We definitely always had enough things to do, but I'd really like to know from you if you've cruised on Holland America before. Please let me know what you think of the variety of activities in the comments below. So would we cruise Holland America again, and would I recommend them, and for whom? Well, firstly, I think it's pretty obvious, but I think if it's a family who really does want to have the slides and race cars and that kind of thing, Holland America is not for you, and they're not trying to be at this stage in your life, and that is absolutely fine. However, I definitely think that families can sail on Holland America. I think if your children like a nice kids club, if they like good food, my own kids really liked good food, if they like spending some time together as a family, both on excursions and on the cruise ship, I think that you definitely can do a Holland America cruise. I think Holland America is definitely for couples, for friends, and even for solo passengers of all ages who want to have a relaxing, good time with like-minded passengers. I definitely think that you'd enjoy them. And would we sail Holland America again? Absolutely. We knew that probably by 2 days in. We thought, oh yeah, we could do Holland America, maybe for Alaska, maybe for another Caribbean cruise, maybe in Europe. And I really do think if we were actually doing a longer cruise and traveling a little bit more, it would only improve our cruise vacation. Now, please let me know if you've cruised with Holland America before, or if you're thinking of it. Please let me know down in the comments below, as well as any questions that you may have. It might even become a future video where I will do a follow-up. Now, I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.